Attack on Titan's rumbling arc is wow. Now, before the pitchforks and the uncivilized comments, hear me out for a second. From the thick plot armor to the multitude of cringe-inducing moments to cliché plotlines, Isayama had been cooking some quality shit way before the main course was served. This critique of the final arc is not for the faint of heart, or for those who can take a joke or two. Let's start with the positives, cause I'm a glass half full type of guy. Thank you for attending the positives. On to the rest. I'm not a medical practitioner by any means, but I'm told that surviving a point-blank explosion by protecting your balls and then going on to produce some crazy gymnastics a couple of days later is what professional doctors refer to as total bullshit. Levi and Zeke both surviving with zero narrative impact on either character is the moment Attack on Titan lost all sense of consequence for the sake of fan service. Meanwhile, Eren and Reiner are ominously staring down each other, which would have been a lot more exciting if it wasn't the fourth time we saw this fight without real resolution. Zeke arrives having been inexplicably revived just on time for what he believed was everyone's scheduled vasectomy. As it turned out, however, only his own was overbooked. Some naysayers may say that Eren getting shot at full stride by a 12-year-old with a gun 3 times her size is just a shameless plot contrivance, but it's actually a very realistic and subtle nod to real life. If you listen in closely, you will hear the collective groan of a million Counter-Strike players watching this scene. They see much worse on a daily basis. I'd be remiss if I don't mention how well this Future Memories episode is animated and executed. Hats off to the director and the music guy. One of the few times I was actually enjoying myself, not thinking about how much better things would be with less CGI in it. Eren manipulating his father from the future is such an amazing twist. Or would have been if his reasons for troubling with all this didn't get botched real hard in the ending, as will be revealed shortly. Plus, they, for whatever reason, decided to delete this scene, which was essential to the plot.
次の記憶だ、ジーク。俺の目的はパラディ島の人々を守ることにある。世界はパラディ島の人々が死滅することを望み、俺はその望みを拒む。
Now truly does the rumbling arc begin. The pandemonium of stupidity, the graveyard of comedy, a storytelling atrocity, what could have been a swan song of war and depravity, got turned into a romantic tragedy. There goes my f***ing sanity. Former enemies putting aside their differences to defeat a great evil is as cliché a plotline as it gets. This is not at all helped by how rushed things are in the final arc. Reiner had an entire half season to explore his guilt and redemption, unlike a certain other blonde mass murderer who got 2 half-assed scenes to explore her redemption. We don't even see Levi confront her about turning his friends into mincemeat and stew, and now Isayama expects us to feel sympathy and connect with her. The very sight of this character boils the living piss out of me. So to write this scene as a comedic relief to appeal to the humor of the average 11-year-old viewer in the middle of an ongoing slaughterfest only goes to show how much of a joke Attack on Titan has become. Also, somehow Isayama got the genius idea of throwing some mass murder and romance into the mix with no build-up and for no apparent reason other than fan service. Armin has no business being in the final arc beyond looking constipated and being a pawn in everyone else's plans, and every character pretending it was a sound idea to revive the brat and bury the Chad feels forced as fuck.
エルビを選ばなかったこと悔いはない。
Mikasa is still a pathetic accessory with nothing more to her character except swooning over the edgelord protagonist. It seems that some people's notion of love is being a loyal dog to the person who shows you no affection and abuses you on occasion. Seriously, what is it about this one-dimensional character that draws in so many fanboys? So, in short, we are watching a bunch of unlikable characters with half-baked superficial tension in between them in a rushed cliché plotline. On second thoughts, bring out the pitchforks and the uncivilized comments. I'm dying on that hill. These Jägerist schmucks strap in the airplane with dynamite in case of an enemy attempted siege and then proceeding to shoot at everything except the dynamite when they do get attacked is further proof that the story had become a circus of tinfoils and plot convenience. In fact, this fourth battle feels like a Marvel movie complete with generic bad guys, last minute rescue assholes, and superhero cringe poses. At least I assume that's how these movies are still like. I stopped bothering with that chaser a long time ago. How that horrid cringe found its way here is beyond me. Some avid Indian haters think that Flock is the Lord and Savior, heroin regent come amongst us, but he comes off as cartoonish and one-dimensional as the rest had become. Used to be villains had subtlety and nuance to their characters, now they might as well paint evil on his chest the way he is being portrayed.
パラディ島が生き延びる道が見つからなかったみんな死ぬ何もかもがなくなるそんな結末納得できない
こんにちはいい天気だねあぶねこんにちは散歩がてら私と一緒に練習でやってみない？お腹すいた。調子はどう？
Eren smiling with approval at the bosses who let him die, and did fuck all in his place to prevent shit from spiraling out of control, is such a shameless and forced way to get some emotion out of the audience. I drink a pint of piss before I buy into this lunacy. The more appropriate reaction would be this. Hanji. I have made a video about the bona fide calamity that we call the ending, so do check that out. I'm not gonna repeat myself here, partly because that line of rope is growing more attractive every minute I think about that absolute travesty. If you're still confused as to why Eren half-assed the rumbling, I don't blame you. It's not because you're dumb or that the reason is so big brains you can't comprehend it. It's because the author wrote a clusterfuck of retconned ideas that appear so deep and intelligent, and trusted the fandom to fill in the gaps with their own headcanon. He wanted his friends to look cool, it was destiny and the future was set in stone. He read a book once and it's Armin's fault. Actually, he kinda forgot why. Something about wanting to bone his adopted sister. He's stupid or mentally ill in an edgy anime kind of way. Whatever does it for you. All you have to do to like the ending is read countless essays and explanatory videos, producing wild interpretations out their asses, pretend it all makes sense and was actually what the author had intended, ignore the love fantasy shite that was dumped unceremoniously onto the story, and if you're still not convinced, it's only because you don't know better, or that you lack the brains to do so. It's like a bloody religion at this point. Do you really think the guy that made that creative choice is that fucking smart? If the ending in the manga is pure, unadulterated intellectual feces, the one in the anime is more like a polished ball of horse shite. It's marginally better, beautiful to look at, but it tastes just the same. You don't mindlessly gulp it up and praise the Lord. Thank you for watching. I am sorry this video took this long to produce. I know my release schedule has been whack as well, but I hope you will forgive me. A couple more videos and I'll be moving on to cover other series, so like and subscribe so you don't miss it. Special shout out to Studio Raina for sponsoring this video. Check out his channel for cool edits. I've helped edit a great video there as well, so do check that out. Good night.